I'm going to share with you today some information that came in about Monarch. This doesn't often happen where I just go into this place where, I guess it does in a way as a seer. Things happen, and I had a realization, and it's like a movie. It comes up, and I start to see what they're doing. I see the whole thing unfold, and it's mostly related to the My Labs. But there's a shift that happened, and I don't know how the shift happened, but I think it's regarding the Earth and the something celestial that changed and shifted our timelines and connected us to maybe parallels or other worlds, something to that nature, which triggered something, a scenario. I think I can kind of give you a brief synopsis of it. Essentially, I observed people, their B alters or their C alters or what have you, that were stuck in these My Labs. And I go into it a little bit later, but I can kind of give you an overall about what it's about. Apparently, things are aligning or realigning, and at some point in time, our other selves showed up in this reality. And Peter started talking about B alters and having that problem with them being around us. Of course, we're not supposed to interact with our B alter because it can create a loop, like in the movie Looper. But one of the things that happened here is I don't know who made these decisions, and I don't know how this happened originally. It seemed to be that there was an overflow of duplicates of multiples of the same person. So it looked like Monarch said, hey, we'll take them. Maybe they just didn't want to have too much confusion and people not knowing what's going on and having all these extra people walking around. So they put him into the facility, the Monarch facility. And then I saw them just saying, well, these people are here, we might as well experiment on them. And they just kept experimenting, and it was a mess. It was a real mess. And then when the timeline started to realign, then they got nervous because of all the damage that they were doing to these people. And it made me wonder, whatever they were doing there to that aspect, say, for example, it was one of my aspects, whatever they were doing there, is that something that I'm feeling here? Which I would say yes. So a lot of people that are traumatized and going through all these different experiences, I think this is part of what had happened. And when things began to realign, they were afraid they were going to get caught because they did some weird stuff to some people, maybe most people that were there. And now they wanted to offload them. And they did it in a really strange way, which we'll see as we begin to talk. But I don't think they're going to get away with it, to be honest with you. But I'll let you listen and leave your comments below. But this is what happened. I just went and got in the zone and started seeing this stuff, talking about what I was seeing, and then trying to assist my friends how to help themselves to get into the right place. So without further delay, here is our discussion. All right, so what I told you is I saw you wearing a pink hoodie, a light pink hoodie, a bucket hat, which I think, I'm not really sure what the color is, maybe it's beige or something, and some kind of floral looking pants that are not really skinny jeans, but narrow more narrow by the ankles, and then so they're kind of short, and some kind of sandals that crisscross in the front, leather, brown. I saw you walking down the street in Japan. You were pulled out of the Monarch facility in Canada. They just are getting rid of people that they had from a parallel reality, and they've been controlling their lives from there. They didn't teach them any life skills. They didn't give you any information that was helpful. They told you a list of things to do, almost like they don't know what to do in this reality. It's kind of weird. I don't know why they wouldn't know, but they told you to get golden chopsticks. And then at some point, some girl walked up to you, was smiling, liked your outfit, and then gave you a headset in exchange for the chopsticks. And then while you were walking and looking around, you were almost understanding the language for some reason, and I don't know why, but you weren't exposed to it because you were in Canada, but in the underground facility. And then I saw you were looking for where your money was. You forgot you had a backpack on, but you did have money kind of pinned to like your pants, on like the cuff of your pants, and then in the sleeve. And then you had some money in your backpack, but you didn't know what to do. You had no idea. You thought you'd just keep walking. And then Hobart saw you. He was looking for you. He's a Monarch asset. He was trying to get you in the car to go somewhere where I think he might have tried to kill you or do something bad to you. And he keeps on trying to convince you to get in the car, but you're confused. You're really, really confused. And then I told you to tell yourself to ignore it and just keep walking and then find shelter for the night. And so then we found this place. I heard Chaco. I don't know what Chaco means, but then I Osaka, and then Okinawa. There was a ticket to go to Okinawa, and then also to go to South Korea, where they were going to have you go to the other Monarch facility because they didn't know what to do. They're starting to unload people, and we found this this place for you to stay. You said this purple door looked familiar to you. It had 3 circles, like as if it's 3 worlds together. And I saw that there was another planet that's back, and they're ready to take back the people. So Monarch is just offloading them, and if they make it back there, they do. They're not worried about it. They don't care what happens. They already have done their experiments on these people, and then programming that they're going to end up taking with them there. And so they let the people just go out and roam, and we're going to probably see a lot of this. So this is like a hostel, and some of the things that they have. And so I think they're going to, she gets into the hostel, you get into the hostel, and then they're supposed to take you at night. But you have plenty of money to pay for your room and whatever you needed. They're saying that you're safe now, so at least you made your destination.
That may be the reason why sometimes I feel like, like especially at work, I'm not all that there. Like maybe my consciousness has been taken. You know what I mean? Like
They're distracting you. Yeah, they're doing something to you. You should, if you get to your destination, it should help you to go back, feel a lot better.
Yeah, I do.
Is in some other They've moved him to different facilities. I think he was in Korea, he was in a Japan facility, and he was also in China. That's why he keeps on getting confused. And then they brought him over to South America. But that's why he's learning those languages. He's in those facilities.
Mm. Oh boy.
So we're gonna have to get him back to where he's supposed to be.
Yeah, it definitely would be something to, discuss, what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll leave it there.
You left your umbrella outside and it is spinning. It's like it's open, but it's down, so the umbrella looks like this. And I think you were told somehow you knew to leave the umbrella because it would have then hooked you back into the umbrella corporation. And you put it down and you just dropped it, but it went up on end. It opened up almost like an antenna.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it was communicating so they could find it. And now someone disappeared. There's an Asian man with he almost looks like an anime guy or someone from those Korean singers.
They're probably trying to see if they can get me to Korea.
He's got a black overcoat on and he's walking up. He's got he's communicating. That's crazy. Something about turn off the alarm. I don't see the subject, he just said.
Then that's good.
He asked him, do you have any tracers? He's looking for you. And he's looking around. They just said, forget about her. We need to get rid of her anyhow. She won't survive. She doesn't know what to do. So they abandoned you, which is good. They didn't see you as a threat. Not only were you a test subject in the Monarch facility, but they are seeing you as a test subject as to have an idea of what's going to happen to people when they let them go and how they're going to behave. Like, there were like 5 people that were released with you, all in different places.
That's not good.
There's another one that went to Leningrad. There's 2 of them that went to the Ukraine.
Oh no.
In the war zone. See, they don't really want these people to make it. There's another one that went to Vietnam, but they look Caucasian, so it's not going to make sense. And then there's another one they dropped off in Alaska with no shoes, no coat, like fully unprepared. They were angry at that one. So that was the experiment, but it's not the first wave yet.
Is it bad if I learn these Asian languages in Spanish? Because
I think you're learning it because they put you in multiple Monarch facilities.
I see.
They put you in a Korean facility, a Japanese facility, and a Chinese facility.
I see. Is this safe for me to learn Chinese and all that?
South American. You were in a South American facility. That's why you learned. Yeah. So what I was telling your mom is I think something happened where our worlds collided with other timelines.
Oh, wow.
These extra people that showed up are like, we had our aspects from another parallel, kind of like Peter talks about our B alter.
Yeah.
But it could be that there's multiple timelines where this intersection happened. And so while this was happening, they, I think Monarch originally volunteered to take all those people in that didn't belong here.
Okay.
in those facilities. And then they thought, well, why don't we test them? Why don't we figure out what they can do? And then it just didn't stop. And they just kept on, and you started torturing people. This is crazy. You look a lot younger.
Right now?
In that other reality, you look
Oh, in
younger.
the other reality?
Yep.
Am I 30 in that reality?
You might be about 13 years old.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Yeah, that was pretty good intuition, though.
Well, it's because Jessica's helping me.
There's another one of you that's old. And you literally have like a mustache, like an Asian guy, like that.
Interesting. Do I look like this? Like
you
older?
And you younger.
Interesting.
And you're in this facility. They keep on wanting to do brain probes. They want to use your psychic ability. They have things hooked up to your brain. Just pull the wires out. Some kind of nodes or whatever you want to call it.
Kind of like needles.
Yeah, and they created these hive minds amongst the people so that it was easier to just deal with one person that's handling everyone else in thought. That's crazy. They just didn't want people thinking independently. It was too much work. So they would grab like 100 people or more, maybe thousands of people, and then have like one person influencing those thousands of people.
Wow.
So it turns into experiment after experiment, and then opens up other experiments that brings in more experiments. And it's just
like a never-ending cycle.
They're so fixated on behaviors and the way people are doing different things, and then how the people from these other parallels are acting different from us here. And the ones that are most complex are the ones that they bother the most, like the very smart ones. Oh, it's bad. You get asked to undo all of it, everything that they did. So your older aspect, they threatened him. They said, we're never going to let you out, but we're going to let out the 13-year-old and see if he survives. That's what they said.
Oh.
The older one aspect of you, astral projected himself. He was so, I don't know, maybe because he was so pressured by them, that he was able to somehow create himself in the future. So the older aspect of you did that. They already released that younger aspect of you now.
Can we ask that we bring him to his proper space and time?
Yeah, I want to see where they dropped him off. It's like somewhere in South America.
What? Well, that isn't. I guess they're technically partially my people from my dad's side.
Yeah, but you don't speak the language. You're 13. I think you have more of an Asian influence.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and probably.
I mean, I most of the time I spend a lot of time studying Asian languages like Japanese, Chinese, Korean.
They just dropped you off in Colombia. I mean, you're like 13 years old walking around and you don't speak the language.
Are they speaking Spanish?
Yeah.
I mean, if they dropped me like from this reality off, I probably wouldn't be able. I mean, I could probably get around a little bit, but not by much, because they speak so fast.
Yep. All right, there's a little restaurant that you're walking by. It's like just kind of like a beat up kind of small restaurant.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's a coffee shop or gas station. I heard El Baño, right? That's bathroom, right?
Baño, yeah. Washroom, yeah.
Tell yourself, the younger self, to go into the bathroom.
Go into the bathroom, younger self.
And let's see if we can bring him back to the parallel he belongs in.
I bring him back to the parallel he belongs in right now. Is he going to do a little dormir? Sleep?
Nope. They just took him.
Oh,
He's
okay.
gone. The older aspect of you.
Okay. Could extraterrestrials take me out of this reality?
It's going to happen naturally because something happened. I see. It almost looks like. Do you see that restaurant? I mean that hotel that we were looking at that was connected to your mother.
Yeah.
Did you see that the symbol in the front of it?
Yeah, I saw it.
It's like the three worlds came together, like this, and then now they're starting to separate again, and that's when they started to, they're sending them back. Ask to disconnect to your older self. It's safer now to pull him out of there.
Ask to disconnect my older self from that reality or from that space and time and bring him back to his proper place and time.
Okay, I just saw what happened. You just freed him, so that was coming here to help you.
Oh wow!
Okay. They captured him in China somewhere. I'm trying to. Where in China?
Shanghai or Beijing or Canton.
Canton.
Oh, and they're speaking Cantonese. And my guess is Cantonese is an extremely hard language to learn. That's
why they put you there, so you wouldn't talk to anybody. Well, that's good. Is back. I didn't know he came to rescue you, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
So what he did was when he showed up, they thought you were the oldest, and then when they saw him, they all went to him. But then they were starting to defeat him and break him down. He was protecting you. Remember in the beginning when they came at you that they were getting in trouble and they were getting pulled away?
Yeah.
And now he was losing power. So they're starting to attack you again. It was going to get a lot worse.
I thank him for protecting me. I appreciate it. And thank you too, Jessica, for your work today.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
This was some extremely important stuff. So I was curious.
You guys were the first ones for your First Nation. This proves to me that you're the first ones.
Oh, thank you.
That you're dedicated to be the ones that they chose. They know that you're the first ones that have to go in order to deal with the human race.
Mm-hmm.
What's this? So Cantonese is hard?
I tried learning it. I can do it, but they use traditional letters, whereas Mandarin, they use simplified characters.
Thank you again for listening. And this is pretty much where the conversation ended. But I thought, well, maybe, you can think about it. And if there's anything that triggers you or it seems familiar to you, or just you want to leave a comment, please do. And help us sort out whatever this is that Monarch has been putting people through. And hopefully we can break people free from all of this once and for all. So thank you for listening. Have a good day.